And you don't think that camera's a little too close?
Well, I don't know. I'm looking there. I can see it in front of me.
I was wondering myself.
I don't know. It's fine. You want to go a little further away?
Maybe not.
I can shimmy over
Yeah, if
closer
we
to
just-
the corner.
That's better. If we You need a laptop up like that.
Yeah, we need like a riser. A Paul riser.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. I think. Totally, probably.
And have we figured out when it starts pulling?
I'll just start playing the theme music now. You got it. It just turned to 8 o'clock, so
We could be live now. Is the music playing?
Yes. It's good.
Here we go!
Hey! Look at that. Alright.
Well, then it's time to start the show. Hello, Facebook.
Hi! Sorry, I had to stop music. Hello, Internet. Welcome to episode number 12. The long-awaited episode number 12 of Bourbon and Zeppelins.
We're back!
Back in the Midnight Groove, which I don't think is the actual
Back.
lyric to the song that I'm thinking of. I am one of your hosts. I am David Hughes. This is...
I'm Jeremy.
He's one of the other hosts.
I'm one of the other hosts.
One of the
Midnight Groove,
many other hosts we've had on
Back
to the song that I'm thinking of. I am one
We
of your
need to
hosts.
start
I
doing
am
guest-
David Hughes. This is
I'm Jeremy.
He's one of the other hosts.
I'm one of the other hosts.
One of the
Midnight Groove,
many other hosts we've had on
Back
to the song that
but
I'm
we
thinking
gotta
of.
like.
I am one of
We
your
need to
hosts.
start
I
doing
am
guest
David
stages
Hughes.
then.
This is
I'm Jeremy.
He's one of the other hosts.
I'm one of the other hosts.
One
Small.
of the many other hosts we've had on
Back
to the song that
but
I'm
we
thinking
gotta
of.
like.
I am one of
We
your
need to
hosts.
start
I
doing
am
guest
David Hughes.
stages.
This is
I'm Jeremy.
He's one of the other hosts.
I'm one of the other hosts.
One
Small.
of the many other hosts we've had on
Back
to the song that I'm
but we
thinking
gotta
of.
like.
I am one of
We
your
need to
hosts.
start
I
doing
am
guest
David Hughes. This is
I'm Jeremy.
He's one of the other hosts.
I'm one of the other hosts.
One
Small.
of the
All right.
many other hosts.
So
we've
because
had
we
on
prep, we actually do sit here like
I
for an
am
hour
one of your hosts. I am
trying to get
David
everything
Hughes.
in order.
This is
I'm Jeremy.
ready to go.
And we still never. One of the other hosts.
Real serious.
All right.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep, we actually do sit here like for
I
an
am
hour
not that sorted out and
trying to get everything in order. I'm Jeremy. And we still never. One of the other hosts.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep, we actually do sit here like for
I
an
am
hour
not that sorted out and
trying to get everything in order. I'm Jeremy. And we still never. One of the other hosts.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep, we actually do sit here like for an hour.
Not that sorted out and trying to get everything in order.
I'm Jeremy. And we still never.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep, we actually do sit here like for an hour.
Not that sorted out and trying to get everything in order.
I'm Jeremy. And we still never.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep, we actually do sit here like for an hour.
Not that sorted out and trying to get everything in order.
I'm Jeremy. And we still never.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep, we actually do sit here like for an hour.
Not that sorted out and trying to get everything in order.
I'm Jeremy. And we still never.
Many other hosts.
So because we prep. Maybe.
Oh,
Is your sound on?
it's me. Sorry, everybody. I know what the problem was.
It's okay. It's only you and I watching.
Ariana's watching. That's
Oh.
That's how we knew it was
That's how we
echoing.
knew?
Yeah.
Ah.
How else would I have known it was echoing?
Intuition.
Okay, we got to figure it out.
Okay.
Sorry, I was playing the sound for this video for no reason, so I'm just gonna close that,
You're broadcasting and playing the sound.
and I might actually still be playing it. So I'm just gonna close that. So I have nothing open that's playing sound anymore.
I'm the only one monitoring comments,
Okay.
of which there aren't any.
Good. Okay, so maybe it's listenable now. So Jeremy was just telling us about his resolution to start smoking.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna start real small. I'm gonna start with the patch,
Right,
and I'm gonna move up to the gum,
right.
and then by maybe June I'll be on full grown-up cigarettes, and then see where we can get to by the end of the year.
Sure. I still feel like you should just go straight to vaping.
No.
Although it's not really, I don't understand. Like, I know a lot of people who say, "Oh, vaping's really good if you want to quit smoking," and I don't really get it. Like, I sort of get it because it's got that sort of oral fixation thing. You're doing something with your hands, but the whole reason people start smoking is to look cool. And
Vaping
does not make you look cool. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you buy a vape, you should get like a free Trilby.
Yes.
And it tastes like bubblegum.
Are you like? Do you have New Year's resolutions?
I have
this
two,
year?
and they're not like real hardcore. So last year, just to give you some context, at the beginning of last year, I changed how I tie my shoes.
Right.
So I've been tying them wrong, like my whole life. So like they would stay tied for the most part, but if you have laces on your shoes, if you're not a Velcro person or a slip-on person, if you have laces on your shoes, your laces should lay, flattish.
I'm gonna find it.
And they shouldn't lay crooked, like they shouldn't be sort of sideways or diagonal across your shoe, because that means you've actually tied them wrong. And so I had to switch. I had to go like, now I have to think about it.
Here you go. There's a YouTube video on it.
Yeah. So that's how I learned how to, well, maybe not that particular YouTube video, but
I'm going to see that it's actually, now I'm going to verify that it's the right one.
there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. But I've been doing it wrong for a good portion of my life. So that's what I did last year. This year...
So, sorry, hang on, just before... So have you actually, you've been doing it right now?
Yeah.
The correct way
I can do it without thinking now. So
yeah,
I don't have to think too hard about it. So this year what I've done is for the last little while, I've been pretty sure that I've been wearing my belt upside down. So
I don't think you have.
I think I have. So if you wear a belt...
Oh, no, this is not the right one.
Well,
okay, you finish yours.
That is not how I tie my shoes. No one can see the video, but Jeremy's watching a video right now.
The video that I linked you guys, sorry, is...
That's not how I tie my shoes.
So we're gonna talk about this video after we talk about your belt.
Okay. Anyway, so if you wear a belt for long enough, you might notice that they sort of get bent over time.
Yep.
And so I was like, maybe I can double the life of my belt. Yeah, right. Because I'm a tubby fella.
I'm shaped like this.
So I figured I could do a couple things. One, I could double the life of my belt.
Uh-huh.
And I noticed, so I have like a couple belts from the Gap. And I've noticed that when I put my belt on the way I normally do, the logo on the inside of the belt is upside down. And that's what made me start to think that I've been wearing my belt upside down.
Hang on, which is the buckle on your left or on your right?
Traditionally, the buckle is on my left. That's
how you've grown up doing it.
That's how I've grown up doing it.
Okay, that's how I've grown up doing it too.
Right. So this year, starting actually on the 31st, I started a day early.
Which is...
I've started wearing my belt the opposite way. So now the buckle is on the right.
Okay.
And so I go through clockwise as opposed to counterclockwise.
Okay, yeah.
And it is the most awkward thing.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a couple weeks, like a week and a bit, and
Have you had any bathroom emergencies?
No, it was like a big concern for me though. Yeah. Like it was a real big concern. So the belt I'm currently like my casual belt, where you go through and you have like a traditional one with like a stick.
That piece.
The stick that goes through the hole on your belt. So that's not so bad because like you put the belt through and then you sort of cinch it a bit, and that's not bad. But I also wear a dress belt, which behaves differently. So the dress belt, it's got you stick the tongue through, and then there's just like the little peg,
hook. Yep.
And you gotta like find the hole. And I'm not used to doing that with my hands where they are. For one, so getting that belt done up is a real chore. Now the other problem that I've run into with this, shockingly,
I think we're playing a little fast and loose with the word problem.
is no, this is a problem.
Okay.
Up until this year, I don't think I've ever peed on my belt before. So
you kind of gave away the ending there.
So when you're peeing, you have your belt undone. Your hands just sort of naturally keep the belt out of the way. You don't realize it.
You still got a piece of belt in each hand. How are you messing this up?
I don't. Okay, first of all, when I go and pee, I don't hold on to my belt with one in each hand. I don't know how you've been peeing.
Maybe I don't. I don't know. Now I gotta
but I have
think
not
about
been
this.
doing that.
Maybe.
So
I'm going to next
I'm
time.
telling you right now, you just have a hand that sort of shimmies your belt out of the way, keeps it clear of the stream. And when you swap what side of the belt sticks out, your other hand doesn't do that.
Your left hand isn't used to performing right hand duties?
Correct, and vice versa.
Right.
So you really have to think hard about that sometimes. Harder than you should have to pee. And my other resolution, which is a more serious one, well, it's not really serious, but I'm forcing myself to type correctly. Home row, without staring at my hands and the keyboard the whole time.
I don't know if I can do...
It's less awkward than the belt thing.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because
I'm really not very good at it. I was going to say bad, but I think that's overstating it a bit.
what finger do you press B with?
This one.
You sure it's not that one?
Yes. No, I'm not sure.
Is that a question of what happens to be most convenient at the time?
Y, I use this finger for Y.
Yeah. Y is with the right hand, T is with the left hand. Oh, wait a minute. Y is close to...
Yeah, no, Y is with the right, T is with the left.
That makes sense.
B, B's with my right. There's a chart. You can find a chart where they color-coded what hand, which fingers are for which keys.
Okay.
For those of you who are learning how to home row type, you can Google it, because we can't teach
For
you.
those of you who are learning how to home row type, it's probably past your bedtime.
Yeah, also that. Although, I'm learning how to home row type, but it's not past my bedtime.
Yeah, well,
It's
there you go.
getting ever closer, though. Yeah. So, I guess it's time to get to the meat of the show, or part of the meat. So there's going to be a little bit of a format change today. So,
Which I haven't been briefed completely on.
you were briefed enough on it.
Fair enough.
So, in the past, most of the focus has been on the newsy and technology stuff, and we aren't necessarily dropping all of that. Although I only have one sort of newsy talking point this week.
To be fair, I mean, we've been horrendously ill-informed about the newsy stuff, and usually I feel like we exit the segments with more uncertainty and more questions than we come into it with.
A big problem is that we don't know what we're talking about, but maybe that's the charm of the whole thing.
Problem? Facet?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
So I think we're going to trim that back a little bit, and the Kickstarter thing has been really good for us. I think we're really good at the Kickstarter thing. So I've added
really
more.
good at making fun of the Kickstarters.
Right.
That's for sure.
And so we've added more Kickstarter-y stuff. But one of the reasons we're doing this is because in the last episode, I maybe had a bit to drink. And I had said that that we, Jeremy and myself as Bourbon Zeppelins, should try to kickstart something this year.
Yeah.
And so, we're making that a goal.
And we sobered up and thought,
oh man,
maybe we should.
it's like good. We've given ourselves a job to do for no money, but maybe for money if it gets kickstarted.
Well, we only have to do the work if it actually gets kickstarted, right?
Well, yes and no, right? Because that's sort of maybe what we're running into. So
the pre-work, like
we might have to do some. Well, there's some pre-work. We might have to prototype some stuff. Right,
Yeah,
in order to get funded. So what we're doing is we're looking at some more Kickstarters than we usually do. I didn't just pick garbage Kickstarters that are easy to make fun of.
we still online.
You tell me.
I don't know. My computer says no.
It says that I'm streaming, so I'm going to say
then
yes.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we have a little bit more Kickstarter stuff. We're still going to do a Kickstarter crystal ball. We actually have 2 this week. And then we're going to take a look at some Kickstarters that already funded, because I think it would behoove us to maybe look at why something gets funded,
something goes
where
well.
where the commonality is. So these are a couple of things that I think both of them were launched on Kickstarter today. They're both very fully funded.
So, got fully funded the day they launched. Is
Right.
that
Right. So
Wow.
the one I definitely know was launched today and
Okay.
is currently funded. The other one has a little banner that says they were funded in less than 6 hours. I think they launched today. I'm not 100% sure.
It doesn't matter if they've funded in less.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it was
That's what
today.
we want to look at.
But yeah, so these guys had really heavy funding. And
Yeah.
one's a board game and one's a tube, which is really bizarre. And then maybe we'll do some Kickstarter roulette, and maybe we haven't decided what we're going to try to kickstart yet. So
We've got some ideas.
We
but
have some ideas, but we haven't.
Some of them might be
finalized
bad.
anything. Some of them are definitely bad. Some of them are better than others. But, we'll sort of see where it goes. We haven't decided. I don't know if we want to have a discussion on camera about this stuff with you guys. But whatever. We'll get...
Well, once we get down to the ideas that we think are good, then
Yeah.
we'll run them by you.
Yeah, for sure.
And see how close we are.
Okay, so we'll start with our talking point. I don't know what else
We
to
have a
call
talking
it. Our
point.
talking point is the whole...
News of the day.
The news of a couple days ago. So it is
That's not the one.
the minimum wage and Tim Hortons thing, which I didn't actually have the link to in the show notes because I posted it on our Bourbon and Zeppelins page.
Oh, that's where you posted it.
That's where I posted it because I know you're looking for it.
I'm like, where the crap is it? I feel like
So-
I'm taking crazy pills.
I'll give you guys the overview of it. So minimum wage went up in Ontario on the 1st of this year, and there was a Tim Hortons that is owned by the children of the founder of Tim Hortons, who I don't know if it's Tim Horton or not, but I assume it's not. I think they just bought his name. Anyways, they have a very successful franchise location of Tim Hortons, and they sent out a letter to their employees saying, because minimum wage is going up, we're no more paid breaks, no more benefits, and we're going to scale a bunch of your hours back. Congratulations. Don't blame us. Blame the government for raising minimum wage. Is basically what the story comes down to. Now, a lot of
Right.
people in Canada are freaking out and sort of blaming Tim Hortons for this and not the franchisee.
Yeah.
Because, I guess they feel like, I don't know, like Tim Hortons didn't tell them to do this, is the bottom line here. This was a decision that they made. Franchise owners, franchisees, is that the same thing, right? I think. If you own a franchise, basically, you can sort of pay people whatever you're legally allowed to pay people.
Isn't franchisees close to Nepal?
Could be anywhere. I don't know. I think she might have been married to a dictator. Anyways, so they can basically pay whatever they want, but they can't set prices. At least in the world of Tim Hortons, I think in other franchises might have different rules, but in Tim Hortons you can't change prices. That is set by head office or somebody who's not you. And so this became a real backlash. I know a lot of people, I think I said, are planning on boycotting Tim Hortons or no longer want to eat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a real thing where people are protesting at Tim Hortons.
They're upset with Tim Hortons. That's interesting. And I mean, I think I have a naturally different spin on this kind of a story because I'm a small business owner.
Right.
So because I look at that and I'm like, okay, mandatory increase. Now, I mean, all of my employees get more than $15 an hour, but I mean, I'm a more skilled labor industry to begin with. But if someone came to me and said, you have to increase your salaries by, what was the increase?
It was like $2. It was 2 something. And it's going up another buck a year. Someone did the math, and it was going to increase staffing costs, assuming everybody, none of their hours changed, and everybody got the same bump.
It's just over 13%.
Yeah, it's a big move.
So that's a huge increase in salary costs. That impacts my revenue substantially. So
Now, I understand it, but I'm going to have the conversation with you that I was having. This is why I've missed this show. I've had to like scream into the void and actually type on Facebook to have arguments with people about this sort of thing. Now I totally understand that this definitely incurs a cost for business owners, but part of the reason that this minimum wage increase is happening, one of the problems that the government is trying to solve, and I'm not saying this is going to solve the problem.
Right.
One of the
that's
ones,
why you're doing this.
right. One of the ones they're trying to solve is that there are people who work full time at minimum wage and they live below the poverty line.
Yeah.
And I think that that is a problem. Now, I understand that small business owners are like, I need to, watch my costs and cut them wherever I am. But I basically, and this is the statement that I made to a friend of mine who's also a small business owner. And I said, if your business plan is only successful if your full-time employees can't maintain a decent standard of living, like at least, I'm just talking like get them to the poverty line.
Yeah.
Then your business plan is bad. It is flawed. Now, I understand legally you can do that. I totally get that.
Yeah. Yep.
Ethically, however, I have a problem with it.
Right. Which I like the sentiment. I would add to it because I do agree that we have a problem where people are working full time and not making enough to make ends meet, and they're living in not acceptable living conditions overall. They're the whole of their life is not acceptable.
Yeah.
But just raising minimum wage takes out the idea that there's a job for a high school student. The high school student doesn't need to be able to.
Yeah, and I get
what
that.
am I missing?
But, the high school student isn't working full time.
No, that's true.
Right? A high school student's probably
High
working...
school student is also not worth a higher wage necessarily.
Well, I understand that.
Depending what they're doing, right?
But it depends. But, I mean, you have, a minimum has to be there for a reason. I know you could have, I guess, an adult minimum and a minor minimum, I suppose. But, that being said, and I realize this is a bit of an exception, is sometimes, on occasion, there are 15-year-olds who have to take care of themselves. They're in a situation where, they've maybe got kicked out of the house or for whatever reason, they don't have a support system.
Yeah.
And so they have to drop out of school and go work full-time. And so now that 15-year-old still needs to be able to pay rent, right?
Yeah. Yeah, fair. Okay, so then what about... Are there jobs that humans still have to do?
No.
That
is the answer.
I
Full stop. There are no jobs that
and we'll
humans
see you
still
next
have
week.
Sorry, continue.
Are there jobs that we're getting humans to do that the task itself is not of a $15 an hour value? That's another question.
Yes and no, but so the way it was sort of framed to me, and I understand this, is if you have someone who's uneducated and unskilled, right? So they're lowest common denominator for a worker, right? Are they worth $15 an hour? Now that it was described to me as being as overpaying them, which I took issue with because they still need to.
I agree, and it's coming at it from two different sides, and when you spin it the two different ways, it has a very different taste, right? Are you saying that this person is not worth $15 an hour because of their skill level, or are you saying that the work that they're doing is not worth, right? And those are two different questions, because if I'm paying someone and their job literally is fold this box closed and tape it,
right,
paying someone $15 an hour for that task maybe isn't a good business proposition. So, but it's maybe a box in a weird shape that I don't want to,
Right.
Point being that something that can't be automated, that you have to pay a human to do, but the task isn't worth it. Not that the human isn't worth it.
Right. But this was right after I talked about how you need to, because I literally just said, if your business model depends on making sure that your full-time employees are okay with living below the poverty line, then your business plan is bad.
Yeah.
And then, basically I was, the counter was that go start your own business and go overpay your unskilled employees. Right, and
which is the knee-jerk reaction of anybody who's in business. I can totally identify with it, and it's still a cop-out response.
He's a good friend of mine,
right?
And and I knew that he wasn't just being a jerk about it.
Yeah,
but,
because
he had other friends who also own small businesses who I don't know, who I'm pretty sure were just jerks.
And there are plenty of business owners who are just who will pay less because they can find someone who is desperate enough for work.
Right. And so we sort of had this conversation a few months ago, sort of very indirectly, when we were talking about illegal immigrants. Okay. I don't know if we actually had this conversation on camera, but I know we've had this conversation where we were talking about, what should we, basically we were talking about, or the conversation got steered to, why are the immigrants coming here illegally? Well, it's because people are giving them jobs. And so we're punishing the immigrants as opposed to punishing the businesses that are driving the illegal immigration.
Right.
Right? And so people are always like, oh, the stereotype of the greedy small business owner is really misplaced. And I'm like, right, but all those illegal immigrants in California and Texas, they're going there because greedy business owners can pay them less than the legal minimum wage. Right? So I'm just saying, right? And I really had to hold back a lot in my little conversation with my friends, because they're my friends, right? So and I do get where they're coming from. I get it, right? You invest money and you have to, but my point is, so if I wasn't a so this was sort of a problem because they're a franchisee, right? Because they can't change their prices.
Right.
And this is sort of also why, so let's say I want to open a donut shop, just an independent donut shop. I actually have to charge realistic prices for things. I don't have, buying power for bulk coffee or bulk frozen donuts, the same way that Tim Hortons does. But instead, and I have to pay people $14 an hour and try to get good people to work for me. Mm-hmm. Right? But if minimum wage goes up, I also at that point have the freedom to raise my prices and hope I don't lose all my customers to Tim Hortons, who hasn't raised their prices.
Right.
So I would say that if I wanted to open a donut shop, what's the better business plan for me? Right? Is it you get a lot of support from being a franchisee. I absolutely get that. There's a lot of bonus there.
Branding.
But you don't really have control of your own business. Right? If you're one of those people who are I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
Oh, no. That's it's what makes me a little bit crazy sometimes about people who are like, oh, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur and I bought a franchise. I'm like, that's kind of like having a paper route.
Right, you're not really your own boss, right? And if I'm for me personally, and I'm just speaking for myself, if I'm gonna be an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna put a bunch of money into something, it's gonna be so I can be my own boss. I already work for somebody else, right?
Uh-huh. Now, having said that, franchising, that's a great route. You're not completely on your own. You're not floundering.
Oh, for sure.
On your own, you get tons of guidance, tons of support, and all the rest. It's kind of to me, it feels, now having never done it before, I can't speak from experience, but it feels like sort of a half step into entrepreneurship. Yeah. And again, that's going to depend on the franchising brands. They have wildly different
they all have different
structures
rules and different ways of doing things, and your royalty fees are different, and your upfront
and some franchises you can,
and some franchises do have that freedom too.
Which also prices and participation may vary. It used to be at the end of any McDonald's commercial.
I think that's still true with coupons, because I think it's because they only send coupons out to different areas.
Oh,
is my guess of why that's the case, right? Right. At participating restaurants only.
So Mitch Hedberg has a fantastic bit about that. He's like, I always wanted to be an owner of the McDonald's that didn't participate in anything. If you got to the idea that you got to choose, he's like, hamburgers? Nope. We got blankets and spaghetti.
Right.
But we do not associate with that clown. Anyway, yeah. So Tim Hortons, these franchise owners, and is it relevant that they're the children of the original?
It isn't. It isn't. They have. The thing is, they have.
Do they have more control over their?
No, they don't.
Then
They absolutely don't. But
I feel like it's not relevant. then.
So the reason why people think it's relevant is because they think that because they're the founders' kids that they have some extra power.
So
And they have a ton of money.
Is this responsible media then?
The media,
I feel like that's irresponsible for the media to have this, to be focusing on the fact that these are the.
I don't think that they're focusing on the fact. It was just,
Okay.
like I feel like
Oh,
it was
hang on.
just part of the story, right?
Yeah.
I think people misread it, and that's not necessarily the fault of the media. Because I guarantee you, like as soon as I started hearing people saying, because I knew my friend was talking about this specifically, and so
Okay.
I was saying it might be a little greedy because these guys can afford to go winter in Florida. There's no reason to, take paid breaks away from your employees at that point.
And yeah, and that's a valid argument,
Right.
That's absolutely a valid argument.
But
Having said that, if I were the owner in this position,
Yeah.
it would feel to me like the government is trying to force my hand on that, right? Like it's not my decision
Right.
to pay them more.
no, for
And
sure.
I feel like it's the government's decision to be taking money out of my pocket to.
I get that, but I also I'm not saying that they can't do it. Like it's their money, right? It's their decision.
Right.
But given the option, they had the option to go, you know what, we're doing okay, so we aren't going to decimate our employees.
We're not going to take this away from the employees.
Yeah, this isn't the employees' fault either, right?
No.
And
So here's the thing: is the owners of the franchises. There is no scenario in which they come out looking good. Either they look bad.
there's one.
No. Okay, you tell me which, and I'll disagree with you after you tell me.
Okay, so they go. The government's raising minimum wage in order to help people not live
Yeah.
below the poverty line. We, as owners, in order to look good, we're going to let them have the raise without any complaint, and we're actually going to pay them a little bit more because we don't think this goes far enough in order to get people out of poverty. Because raising the minimum wage, and this is why I was headed in quotes earlier, isn't
Yeah.
going to solve the problem. What's going to solve the problem is individual businesses taking the lead and just paying their employees more, realistically.
Yeah. Okay. So first, I agree that
But that would make
Far-
them look good.
I see. I think it would get overshadowed by the government being the hero in raising the minimum wage.
That's why you have to go further. That's
Yeah,
why
I
you
know.
have to take it a
Even-
step further.
And
Like,
even,
like if you just
even if you
accept
go
it-
further,
Yeah.
it was still the government that lit the spark, right?
Well,
It's the government that
but
initiated everything.
Isn't it the government's job to do that? Like part of it is to inspire people to do the right thing, right? We want they're trying to enact
See, yeah.
social change that's
And
positive.
This is
So
where
they should be winning. They should get credit for that. That's why we vote for people. That's why I vote for people.
this comes down to an area that you and I fundamentally disagree about the
I'm
role.
just saying, if we have a government, why not let them take credit for doing good things and for inspiring good behavior?
Because they don't.
But if they do, in this case,
In this magical land where the government would do like good things, sure, then they can.
sometimes they do.
If,
Right? They make it illegal to be mean to people. That's a good thing sometimes.
Anyway, yeah, that part comes down to what you believe the role in government is, right? So I tend to be more on a government like let the people be good on their own, and you just make sure the lights stay on. Where yeah, I think you take more of a government should come help people be good.
Well, I look at it as we've elected leaders.
Yeah.
They should lead, right? And the way you do that is sort of by example. And sometimes this is just what you need to, you know, we need people to be a little bit better. What can we do to make people be a little bit better?
Fair enough.
So if they take an action,
So I get
does
the,
it,
the
then they should
problem.
get credit for it.
The problem for me in this situation is I'm still not convinced that raising minimum wage is a good solution.
Oh,
I think it has good. I think it has good effects, and I think there are some people that are better taken care of because of it. I think it's a blunt tool that does more harm than good. And again, that's my perception at this point. I certainly haven't run any numbers on it, right? But
sure.
in this situation, the government sort of gets a bit of a positive spin, or sorry, the company comes out looking a little bit okay. If they, I think you're right. If they went further and they like took it as an initiative, but it's like the government still is the hero with them, and
sure. The other, like, but I mean, also, I mean, like, here's what I would. Here's what I think I would want to do, if, you know, assuming I could afford to do it as this franchisee. So the government, I think, raised the minimum wage. I think it's like 14 and change or something right now. It's going up to 15 next year.
okay,
I would say, okay, I'm just going to go to 15 right now, and then next year I'll go up to 15.50, right? Because then you look good still, and you're sort of trying to minimize it and still look good. Like if you really gotta like nickel and dime your employees, that's the way to do it and look okay.
Yeah, it's costing you a bunch of money.
I get that.
Now, I also at the same time, I think that there's an epidemic of especially C-level executives being paid disproportionately more than.
Sure, we can pull up tons of charts to show you that. there are so many where it's like, here's your average wage slaves increase over time, and here's your CEO.
Yeah, and multipliers of the C levels get paid over top of their employee, and that's that part is disgusting. And so in a situation like a Tim Hortons, I think even a Tim Hortons franchisee owner, I would wager they have enough to cover it up over. It's the small business owners
For sure.
that are like, they don't have the extra margin, and it's not like the president is making always, in many cases, it's not like the president is making these gobs of money that he's just like socking away and sucking it out.
Right.
So,
No, I get that. Like I was,
and that's why I don't
to the
like
greed in this particular instance with this family.
With this
I
one,
think they could do it, and it's just I find it appalling, I guess, that they decided to go the other way and just screw their employees. Like they didn't really have to do that, I don't think. But I mean, I haven't seen their books. I don't know. Maybe it's all a front, right? Maybe they really got nothing.
Could be. Who knows?
I have no idea. But you're right. It does screw the your average small business owner, your independent coffee shop guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I
get that.
Independent donut shop. Yeah, he does not have the margin. That's a tough.
And part of it is I just think that Tim Hortons should just be charging more realistically, right? Like,
whoa.
And that's the Well, I mean, they shouldn't be, because everything they serve is garbage.
Shut your mouth there, man. Well, that's true too.
So I mean, it doesn't affect me what they charge for a coffee, because I never go to Tim Hortons. Like they could charge like twice as much as Starbucks. Literally affects my life zero. Zero.
So really, you're with the protesters. You think Starbucks? Or
I've apparently been protesting them for years now. I think their coffee's gross, and I don't like the fact that their donuts are frozen, and I think that their breakfast sandwiches are disgusting.
We need Krispy Kreme back.
We do. There's independent donut shops in the city, but they are a little pricey. Donut Party, I don't know if you ever heard of them. They're really good.
Yeah.
Free plug for a donut party who doesn't know who we are, but they make excellent.
Everybody
donuts.
come to Edmonton and try Donut Party. It's fantastic.
We also have the Italian bakeries. They make really good donuts, and they are reasonably priced because they are not just a donut shop.
And the Dutch Bakery.
I've never had donuts from the Dutch bakery, but I
And
assume it's
had-
good. I've had.
We have very good bakeries in Edmonton.
I had Nanaimo bars from a Dutch bakery in Nanaimo, and they were the best Nanaimo bars I've ever had.
I'm allergic to coconut, so
Oh, that's a
I
shame.
don't like them.
That's fine. I used to hate them, actually. I used to think they were gross, but I was in Nanaimo, and so we decided to find the best Nanaimo bars in Nanaimo. And no locals knew the answer, really. Like, we were asking, and everyone's like, I don't know. And then they were like, there's like a Dutch bakery over here that's pretty good. And I was like, okay. So we went and we tried that, and they were amazing. Like, to the point where we bought some and, like, brought them back home on the plane. And now I really like Nanaimo bars. I even like Safeway ones or whatever.
That's it. You've got the taste for them now.
Yeah, like I don't go out of my I don't think I've ever actually bought a tray of Nanaimo bars, but if I'm at if I'm somewhere and there's Nanaimo bars out, I will eat them.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Although I always hate when they're like frozen and thawing out and then they're all sweaty on top with like cold water droplets. And then you get chocolate all over your fingers and
First world problems.
right.
So Pam's saying that they used to have, I'm assuming this is Tim Hortons, 100% dental coverage. Now it's down to 50%.
Yeah, like they cut a bunch of benefits.
all kinds of benefits
Yep.
and all the rest. And yeah,
Yeah, like they screwed their employees, and they're doing it under the guise of blame the government. As far as I'm concerned, that's
but I mean, it's legitimately the government's rulings that are
Right.
bringing it about. Yeah, I feel like they're awfully high and mighty to be flinging mud like that. So I don't know. CBC's
it's weird in that case. But
yeah. CBC's saying that the wage hikes could cost Canada's economy 60,000 in jobs.
Well, here's the
next year.
thing. So we hear the same arguments about minimum wage every time minimum wage goes up. We heard this argument back when slavery was abolished. It's going to kill productivity. It's so, I mean, obviously people weren't like going to get paid less, when slavery was abolished. But they were saying, we're going to have all these people with nothing to do, right? That was the argument back then. We can't employ 13-year-olds or 8-year-olds anymore in a factory.
We're going to have all these 8-year-olds just sitting around doing
Being
nothing.
lazy, right? So I'm just saying, we've heard these same things, and every time you see the minimum wage go up, you do see a loss in jobs, and then it rebounds,
And then
every time,
people figure it out.
right? It happens every single time, and it sucks for those people who are going to lose their job, no question. But like we can't just. I mean, if legally we never move the minimum wage, and it
Yeah.
was like $3 or whatever, people would still be getting paid $3 an hour. That's the reality of the situation. In some cases,
You think, because of course the other side of this argument is supply and demand, right? Like if nobody agrees to work for $3 an hour, then you have to pay more.
Well, okay, so I only have anecdotal evidence of this, but I have heard
That's the best kind.
I know, which is terrible. But I have heard stories of people who, there was a guy who he was looking for jobs, so he put an ad up on Kijiji, I think, or Craigslist in Vancouver, whichever one's more popular there. And he said that he got 30 people responding to him. So sounds like to me that it's especially in downtown Vancouver, to get servers and stuff like that in your restaurant, you can't afford to live in downtown Vancouver if you're a server. I don't care if you're what you're making, really, right? Like
The tips are great.
sure, right? But he's like, everyone who got back to him offered him minimum wage, and everyone who he tried to negotiate with him told him no. So I'm telling you, like, and I admit this is one anecdote from a guy I don't know, but I mean, I kind of believe it.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds very true to me.
It sounds believable. So not that means you take it automatically as gospel, but you certainly
It sure rings of truth, right?
you look into things like that and you see if you can find supporting.
But I would be pretty certain that. See, here's the thing. So someone mentioned, I can't remember the exact quote, but someone was saying that small business owners love supply and demand until it stops working in their favor.
Everybody loves supply and demand until it's out.
Right, but they'll make the argument of, well, we shouldn't raise minimum wage because supply and demand, right? But as soon as people start asking for more money, then it becomes a real problem for them. So they weren't going to like it anyway.
Someone was going to be pissed about something or
People
other.
are still going to lose their jobs, and we're probably going to have more people in poverty because you're going to have people who are like, I guess I'll work for $3 an hour because it's better than, having a 5-year gap on my resume.
Then zero.
Yeah. I guess, and I'm sure that's the attitude of some business owners is be happy you're getting something. Better than nothing, right?
At least we all agree. It's better than nothing.
But I was like super frustrated about this.
Yeah, I don't think there's a good side to it. I think.
Yeah, like I say, even in that conversation I was having with my friends, I still don't believe that raising the minimum wage is going to solve the problem. But I think it's it's a temporary step in the right direction. I think you have to keep minimum wage on par with inflation, and that'll never happen.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah.
Right. So if we had minimum wage set to right now, and it was set to whatever the poverty line currently is. So if you were working 40 hours a week, at that you were just
on the poverty line,
right on the nose. So you're not below poverty, but you're still not rich, right? And then it just sort of automatically went up as inflation changed. As inflation rises.
Mm-hmm.
Then they would stay at the poverty line, theoretically. Right? Get the same buying power out of their bucks. But that raises costs everywhere, and no one's ever going to agree to that.
Ramps up inflation.
Oh, sure it does. Yeah, there's lots of
snowballs out of control.
There are tons.
Next thing you know, cats are living with dogs. We're all hosed.
Lots of people have cats and dogs.
Silly people.
I only have cats.
Sillier people.
No, cats are cool. They don't.
That should totally be the tagline. A cat guy and a dog guy get together and talk about.
It makes more sense than anything else we've said.
It's probably true. Pam says, unless you're a millennial living in your parents' basement.
Well, sure, but that's the whole point. You shouldn't have to live in your parents' basement, right?
Do they have to, or do they?
If all they can get is a minimum wage job, kinda. They have to live in someone's basement.
I don't want to talk about millennials. I'm having a good day.
Well, it's not just millennials. They're people too, Jeremy. Technically.
Thanks for proving my point. All right.
Sorry, I was opening up my Kickstarter crystal ball.
It's time for... Where's our Kickstarter crystal ball theme music? We don't have that yet.
We don't have any.
We're going to have Kickstarter crystal ball music at some point, sometime.
I forgot to change the old words around.
Whee-hoo. Oh, Pam. Pam says, what is the poverty line, and why would I work when I can just collect welfare? Huh? Pam's on my side today.
Well, the poverty line is around, I think it's, I knew the number the other day, and now I can't remember it. I think it's $28,000 for a single
Holy
person.
crap.
I think. I'm not 100% sure about that. Why would you work if you... See, this is a thing...
No, it's time for Kickstarter crystal ball.
All right. We'll move on. We can have this conversation some other time, Pam. Maybe next week we can talk about why would somebody work.
That's a good question. Why would you work when you can just get the money for free?
Pam, I know what we're gonna talk about next week, Jeremy. we're gonna have some reading homework for all three of us, you, me, and Pam. It's a universal basic income.
Okay, you got to remind me about that.
Okay.
I've never been good at doing my homework.
Okay, Pam. So look up, just Google universal basic income. read some stuff about it. Basically, it's the idea that everyone deserves income just for being
Thanks,
alive.
Pam. Now we have homework.
This is on you. No, this leads well because this is about that whole thing. All right, it's Kickstarter time.
Kickstarter crystal ball!
All right, so God, sorry, I have too many windows open because I was desperately trying to get my internet working at some point.
See, and then I got it working. Progress app, a place for people who disagree. You know,
Oh, that's not even on our list anymore. Why is that in the sheet?
I don't know. You put it there. What? Oh, it was already not funded last time.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I was a little behind on cleaning this sheet.
Okay,
up.
where are we on? Did we?
So I've got Rana, Shellback, POV Lamp, Dichotomy, and Playdates for Dogs.
All right, Shellback.
It was. Oh, sorry, that was also not funded.
Yeah, okay. It's still not funded for those who are wondering.
Right, POV Lamp.
Oh,
That should be done by now. Yes.
I think they should almost. We've been gone for like 3 weeks.
Playdates for Dogs isn't. I have the end dates here, so I can tell you which ones are done. POV Lamp is done. It was done on the 22nd.
Oh, POV Lamp did not make it.
Okay.
They made it to 43,876
Oh, that's not
Swiss
good.
francs.
The last time that
Did they
we
go down?
looked at it, no, it was 42,147.
Yeah,
They were shooting for 120. They did not get there.
they got just over a third of the way there. No, hang on. Yeah,
Yep. Yes. That is just over a third.
just over a third of the way there.
We're going to do a math app.
Whoa. Put it on the list.
That'll be our
Math.
Kickstarter. I'm not
Math
putting it on
app.
the list. That's terrible. Dichotomy. Which is Dichotomy?
Dichotomy.
I don't even remember what it is.
It's our keyboard.
You're right. So this was ending on New Year's Eve. Its target was 20,000 last time.
Mousy keyboard.
Yep. I don't think it moved. Last time we looked at it was 1,092.
It did not move.
1,092 is where we're at.
Wow.
So
That's-
also. So I was. For the record, POV Lamp. We both predicted that it would get funded.
We thought so, hey?
Yeah, we thought it had a chance if it got in front of it because it was one of those niche ones.
Yeah.
If we thought business people would see it, they would fund it, or like bar owners. That didn't happen. So we were wrong about
So
that.
either bar owners didn't see it, or
Or they did see it and we were just wrong.
we were totally wrong.
On Dichotomy, you said it would kickstart.
I was a fool.
And I said that it would not kickstart.
So, okay, what did we learn about what did we learn? There has to be a postmortem on this too. So POV Lamp, we thought
I think it's too niche. So it's too businessy, I think. Like we'll have to do a little bit of digging around, but I think it's too businessy for Kickstarter. Because I think people want to kickstart things that benefit them directly. So I think the people that funded that were people that were like, I want a whirring lamp in my house over my coffee table
that has a Mario face on it.
that has a Mario face or
Right,
an
yeah.
emoji or something like that. And I think so I feel like that's the problem with something like POV Lamp. I'm sure there's tons of examples of things that are very more business oriented, like whatever. Like I need something for my business, or like an application or something business oriented.
Business oriented.
Something
yes.
for my business, which
Yes.
is the definition of that phrase. So I feel like those things are going to have a harder time getting kickstarted.
Yeah. I would,
Because it's just a smaller audience. Because people, like, you got those Bluetooth earbuds,
yeah.
so you can buy Bluetooth earbuds anywhere. But Jeremy was like, I'm going to get them off Kickstarter.
Oh, these are going to be nice.
Right, and that's what everyone says, right? Like, these are going to be different.
I can't wait for these.
You know, and so people like to. Anyways, my point is, people like to buy things that they like, right? That they
They
want.
personally want. They want for themselves.
Right? Like, I could look at something like POV Lab. I could look at something like Dichotomy. Like, I think Dichotomy is a cool idea, right? But most people might look at it and go, that's a cool idea, but I'm not going to use it, so I'm not going to fund it.
Yeah.
Because so many of the stretch goals, and this is part of the issue, I think, with Kickstarter, has become a storefront for a lot of places. And we sort of talked about this a little bit last time. And so because of that, because stretch goals are usually like, we're going to give you one of this thing or two of this thing. And if you don't want that thing, then you're not going to, like, why would you...
Which almost sounds too simple to... to even say out loud.
It sounds simple.
If you don't want it, you're not going to pay for it.
Right. But, if you want to like support
think we've cracked it.
Right? But if you
Yeah.
want to support a business, my point is
figure
if
it
you
out.
want to support a business, there's other things,
Right.
like maybe if you don't treat it as my working theory right now is that if you don't treat it like a storefront where I'm just selling you a product, like this is just a pre-order
Yep.
system essentially, right? If you take that away from it and try to convince people that this is just a product worth investing in, whether you want it in your house or not, right? And now that's difficult to do with a lot of things. You have to show some sort of social need for it or some sort of
Greater good.
greater benefit to it. And we're actually going to sort of touch on this a little bit, and I don't know if this is actually the right way to go. Like maybe storefront is the way you have to treat it. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I figure if you do storefront with a fantastic product,
Yeah.
that's like 100% good to go.
Yeah. If it's something that people are going to want. So
Anything else, and you're futzing with a complicated algorithm as to whether or not it's actually going to go right.
right. And I think POV lamp is one of those things where it is a cool idea, but it's very niche, right? So you need something that's a little broader in terms of its appeal. Same with dichotomy. Like dichotomy, I don't know who mentioned it, but it might be like that's the kind of thing that might be good for someone with, a particular disability or whatever, right? I don't know what one, but it could have been, all right? And right, so maybe there is actually a greater purpose to dichotomy. It might be. I just think it's a neat technology.
Definitely teach you home row typing.
It would.
Yeah, it's neat, but it's not
And I say all that, and I didn't fund it.
exactly. See, so not good enough. All right,
I feel like I should have funded that. I could have funded that for a couple $10 or something. Not that it wouldn't have gotten it over the thing. Playdates for dogs.
Playdates for dogs.
That's Doggy Tinder.
Are you throwing these things up on the screen?
No, I should though. Hold on, let me open it real quick.
Okay, so Playdates for dogs. Tinder for dogs.
Oh shit. Can you just check to see what I'm showing right now?
What are you showing? Waiting for it to get around. Waiting for it to get around.
We're a little behind.
Our life. There we go.
Hey, okay, good. I figured it out. I remembered the key combination to show that. So this is Playdates for Dogs, which was Doggy Tinder.
Totally canceled.
Got canceled.
No kidding.
Canceled on January 2nd, so they made it to the new year. And then decided, oh, maybe we've made a horrible mistake.
Horrible mistake, seeing as no one has backed us.
They had 0? Wow. That is shocking. Like, I'm surprised they got 0.
Yeah, because it was for dogs.
Yeah,
I'm like,
people-
there are dog lovers everywhere.
But, yeah.
So,
Okay.
0.
Should be okay. So, we should be switched back. I hope.
Well,
We don't have some weird...
what do we got today?
So today we've got a couple.
We've got 2.
We've got 2 to look at today. So let me open both of these.
We've got
Soul Development.
disrupt hopelessness.
Right. So these are both sort of weird. Well, let's start with that one, I guess. So let me get to the right
Just
deal here. So this is a bit of a weird one. And I had to read this a bunch to figure out what was going on here. So one of the things that I'm doing is I didn't just stick to technology. I thought I would see like what's sort of on the front page of everything that's being launched right now. And I picked some stuff from there. So it's not, this stuff isn't necessarily going to be in our wheelhouse, but I think it's interesting to see what people are trying to kickstart. And we can see if they're going to be successful or not. Now this is doing kind of surprisingly well for me. But so... it's really vague. So I read this. I read their about a bunch of times, and it's basically some singers,
yeah.
and they just want money, and they'll go on.
They want money?
Yeah, they want money, and they have an album. I literally don't know what they want the money for. It's so weird. I think they're just What is this? Hold on, I did read this before. We know the power of our music, and we wholeheartedly want you to experience this power in its fullness. Oh, okay, so they're mixing and mastering an album. So this is money to mix and master an album, and
Okay.
Potentially to market it.
Hey, that's okay.
Which isn't a terrible thing to try to get kickstarted. You know, if you're a small band, that's cool. But I think the reason I really picked this is their whole hashtag thing that they've got going on here, because they're trying to sell us on hope, and how supporting them helps disrupt hopelessness. Now, I guess on a very esoteric level, I can see how music helps disrupt hopelessness. But coming from a tech side, from a tech background, disruptive technologies means a different thing to me. Right? So that's maybe where I'm getting hung up here, is because I'm thinking of like Uber is disruptive to the transportation industry.
Right, yeah.
Right? Or to food or whatever, right? And this is, well, you're a band and maybe a really good group of singers, but you aren't like disrupting the music industry. You're disrupting hopelessness. And I feel like, and maybe they're being very sincere, but it feels insincere to me to have this hashtag attached to it. I'm sure they mean really well. Like, I don't think they're, like, I'm being the cynic here, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna be recklessly optimistic and say that they're trying to be genuine, and they truly believe that their music is
I'm sure it's all very
something
uplifting.
that uplifts and touches people. And it starts right off with them explaining, they always have people coming and telling them that their music is touching people, and that's fantastic. That's a great thing.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like, it just seems like a weird thing to me. Like, if they didn't have the whole disrupt hopelessness, you know what? I bet you even if it was just like not a hashtag, that would probably help me out a little. Like, if that was like the name of their album, maybe that's the name of the album. Maybe I've just completely misread this.
Maybe you've totally misread this.
Yeah, maybe disrupt hopelessness. Hashtag disrupt hopelessness is the name of the album. Wouldn't that be funny?
It's interesting. I'm seeing that like their pledge levels, $10 or more. They've got 3 backers at $25 or more.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the price of an expensive album, but
yeah.
This,
well, so I go to Folk Fest every year. If you buy a CD there, it's $30. Or wait, is that right? No, sorry, it's $20. I take it back. It's $20. It's $3 for a shirt usually.
I still don't really understand any of those words.
Well, I don't know. Like, I like having physical media of stuff. Like, I like having a CD.
Fair.
That's just me.
Okay.
I get it's not for everybody, but I like it.
It gets lost and scratched, and it gets...
Well, you
it's
rip it, and then you
cluttered.
put it away, and then if you ever want to, like, read the liner notes, you have that. You can just go grab it and do stuff. You can see who did what. Like, if you're interested in knowing, like, who played what instrument on what track, you can just pull it down and look to see who did what.
Here, let me Google that for you.
You could also Google it, but that's, so much less
Cold
personal.
and impersonal.
Cold and heartless. So they're asking for a ton here. $10,000, American.
Can you mix and master for $10,000?
Don't know.
I need to check with...
I don't think you... Man, I don't know. I don't know what it costs to do that. Because I feel
I feel like it's more than that, but maybe
if they've already recorded, like, recording is a big chunk of change. Mixing and mastering, they probably only need to have one dude. I think they could do it for $10,000.
Okay.
It's like, what's a guy cost? It depends on what the guy's. If they find a guy who's like working $100
Well, they find the guy
an
that costs
hour.
$10,000.
Yeah.
Well, or
I'm just saying, if they find
whatever
a-
they actually get to keep out of their Kickstarter.
Yeah. Right. So like.
Hope they realize that part.
7,500 or whatever it is. Ish. And you have to pay. Well, I don't know how it works in the States, but in Canada, because I actually looked into this, you have to pay. It's taxable income.
It's taxable income.
Yes.
Oh, we got to get a shell company going
Okay.
in Ireland.
Please don't make me this type of person. I don't want to do that. I rail against it. Jeremy, I need to be ethical. So,
What are you saying about the Irish?
I'm saying it's unethical for me to have a shell company in Ireland to avoid paying taxes in the country in which I reside and make money.
We'll call it a draw.
All right. Okay, so they're asking for 10,000 American buckaroos.
10,000 buckaroos, which is
For-
what the American monies are called.
Pew pew. So for $10 American, you get a thank you and a digital download of the debut album. For $25, you get a thank you, a digital download, and a signed hard copy. So the 25 is
Hey,
not bad because
That's for the 20. I didn't finish reading the 25. You see, this is how, admittedly, this is how we do it, only reading half the stuff, but
right. Right. So you get like the signed hard copy. So like if you include shipping, ships to anywhere in the world. So that's not a bad price for an album.
do they know how much shipping costs?
I have no idea. I don't. Maybe
We should tell the Irish about this. And then they can order a bunch.
Why will the Irish care?
I'm just wondering
Why
how
are
much
you
it costs.
so hung up on Ireland right now? For $50, you get a
Get
thank
my-
you, a
get a
digital
phone.
download, a signed hard copy, and a photograph, signed photograph.
Nice. Yeah.
Also shipped anywhere. $100. Thank you, digital download, signed hard copy, signed photograph, and access to a show of your choice in your region.
In your region.
Anywhere in the world. These guys are optimistic.
Just saying. So are they? Are they saying they will book
I
a
don't,
show in your?
I don't think that's what they mean.
I don't think that's what they mean, but it kind of reads a little ambiguously.
But it could be implied that they're gonna go to like
Ireland.
to Ireland because Jeremy's gonna like really do a grassroots push over there. Did I do the
Hey,
$100?
if you can get the Irish behind something, it's pretty much a lock.
All right, like Presbyterianism, Protestantism, Catholicism, a religion, the one that starts with P, Protestants. That's right.
Protestants. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't. I feel like they haven't really made up their mind about that.
It's about 50-50.
$150. Thank you. Digital download, hard copy, photograph, access to a show of your choice in your region, and a crown, a Peace King crown.
Peace King
Is there
crown?
anything on the page that tells us what a Peace King crown is?
Hang on, who is the PKK? I feel like that's...
Aren't they the zipper company?
No, that's YKK.
Oh. Then I don't know. $250. All that other stuff, and a Hope Dealer hoodie. That actually is kind of a cool idea for a hoodie.
Oh, yeah. The PKK Kurdistan Workers' Party.
Oh yeah, that's probably exactly who
They're not a friendly group.
No,
No.
probably not. Probably not related to these guys.
I hope not.
$500. You got all that, the hoodie, and a print of the Sol Development art commissioned by Jay Lamage as a token of our gratitude.
A print of that. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
and then there's more. I
1,000.
couldn't believe it. Sorry, someone backed it.
Someone backed for $1,000?
Wow, they get all that and a live local performance as a token of our gratitude. Was that like in your house? Like, if I do that, do they fly to me?
Well, the other one said in your region, so like that might be North America.
I don't know. Maybe they're Skyping. Maybe it's a live local performance over Skype.
That seems less impressive than like concert in
Well,
your.
for $1,000, that's not going to get them. That's not going to get 4 people plane tickets to me. So I think they're based out of Oakland or something.
Oakland?
I thought I saw Oakland. I could be really wrong about that. Oh yeah, there it is. That's where I saw Oakland.
Yeah, they're based out of Oakland.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So do you think?
1,000? Okay, I call this is someone's like mom.
Shenanigans? You feel this is an inside job? That $1,000 backing?
I've lost my reckless optimism. I'm now skeptical.
That's fair.
Skeptical. Pam says their mom.
I tend to agree. I'm usually the cynic on this, so I will stay true to form.
Gotcha.
Be like, this is someone's family member.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta.
Okay, so they want 10 grand. They've got 2,100 already. I feel like I'm going to say yes on this one.
I think they're gonna get it. Okay.
I think they're going to get it.
Okay, just give me. I need some time here.
Oh,
Okay, soul develop. Ugh, I'm not doing home row.
turn your belt around.
Still not doing that. Oh,
Disrupt hopelessness with soul development. Soul?
soul. I'm assuming it's soul.
Soul?
Like,
Like the beer.
yeah, sure. What's the date today?
October. No.
What day is it? It's the 10th. We're okay. We got it.
Okay.
Oh, I did that backwards. And when's it supposed to be done?
In 29 days. Do you remember how to do the plus 29?
Oh, yeah, I do. Equals that plus 29. Done.
Nice.
And they're asking for 10,000 buckaroos. And what are they currently at again?
They're at... No, that's American.
that's-
They're at 1753
1753.
buckaroos.
1753 buckaroos.
Buckaroos.
Okay, so sorry, you said you think it will get
I
funded?
think yes. That's
I-
foolish considering that a majority of their current backing is the one.
Man, I don't know. I
They're
don't know.
almost 20% of the way there.
They are. I don't feel like that's enough.
Well, not when, like...
I'm going to go with no.
You're going to beat me on this one.
I'll pick no.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the other one that I...
Okay. Type 1 writers.
Oh, yeah, all right. This one's funny.
Type 1 writers.
So...
Hey, it's out of the UK. A UK pen pal club for anyone living with type 1 diabetes. What?
Right? So I read this and I
Receive a snazzy letter.
I read this a bunch of
and
times.
write to your fellow diabetic.
The stretch goals on this are comical to me. I think
the premise is comical to me.
The premise is all sorts of... How long until that's got 29 days
It's
also?
got 29 days.
I'm just going to do this real quick.
the?
Oh,
Okay, so their goal is 320 pounds.
yeah.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, we got to do like... We got to do some Kickstarters with like really low bar goals.
320.
So they've got 175
And they're at 175.
pounds of 320 so far. Okay, hang
Okay.
on. So back up.
Okay, I'll switch over so people can see it. Just give me a second here. I was filling out some forms. Okay.
Doing the paperwork.
Okay. Type 1 writers.
Type 1 writers.
So this is exactly what Jeremy said it was. It is a pen pal club for anyone living with type 1 diabetes. It is very specific. Now, do you know anything about diabetes? Like, do you know the difference between type 1 and type 2? Is that like the really bad
The
one?
difference is 1.
Okay.
That's
We're
where...
still doing that math app, I guess. I guess I will put it on the ideas list.
Put it on the list, and no, I do not know the difference between type 1
Maybe somebody watching does. I don't really...
diabetes.
Oh, yeah. Google would help.
Yep. Okay. Diabetes mellitus.
Actually, Ariana probably
Types-
knows. We have a friend who has diabetes. I just don't know if it's type 1 or type 2 because I am not a good friend. At any rate, either way, I just don't understand what precludes people from... I guess this is a little bit more creative than like Tinder for diabetics, which is the other way you would do this, right? Is have an app.
Put that on the list.
Tinder for diabetics? Okay, that's not a bad one, actually. That's pretty funny. We might be able to fund that. Actually, sorry, real quick, that you just struck me with some inspiration.
I'm afraid that's what struck you.
I'm going to put this one on the list, but I think Tinder for people with incurable STDs, which is almost really Tinder, but like really specific, like Tinder for people with like AIDS or I don't know the other ones. Gonorrhea, does that go away? Syphilis. I think you can solve those, cure those.
Cure those? Hang on.
Herpes is forever.
Syphilis.
I think you just need to eat lemons or something like that.
Scurvy.
That might be scurvy.
Rickets. First of all, that's depressing, and probably there's a
right. I feel like there's a good market for that. Because how many people, are like on Tinder and they have AIDS and they have to disclose that and it's embarrassing and people are like, well, no, I don't want to do that. But if you were on Tinder for AIDS and everyone had AIDS, I'm just saying, right?
Hang on, let me check GoDaddy.
Tinder for AIDS.
This.
Honest to God, I feel like this is a fundable idea.
A fundable idea?
I think it is fundable.
My question.
If you get on all the,
is it gonna fund?
If you get all the lonely AIDS bloggers,
lonely AIDS bloggers
looking at it,
herpes. Pam's asking, do they actually have to disclose on Tinder?
I don't think they. Well, no, but I'm just okay. Assuming they're like on a date with somebody. If I had AIDS, I feel like that's something I should mention to somebody who I'm planning on sleeping with. But
what if you're embarrassed about it?
It is embarrassing, right? That's my whole point. This keeps people safer,
right?
Theoretically.
Okay, but
and if somebody wants to get AIDS, they know where to go now.
Yeah, yes.
Man, what were you going to cure with AIDS? I think if you got cancer, you were going to go get AIDS. It was a wild episode last time.
We did have a lot of bourbon last time. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. So can we go back to the diabetes now?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going to play the video.
Hi everyone, welcome to my Kickstarter page. I'm Zoe and I have type 1 diabetes. And I've got a really, really exciting platform to support other type 1
I'll
diabetics.
just turn it down a lot.
And I need your help.
I think we'll be okay.
Well,
maybe now they can't hear it.
Your money.
That's okay. They can hear it a little bit, I'm sure. It was. I think it was way louder than our mic. So.
It's called Type 1
Oh, okay. Our technology's fantastic.
So anyways, so she's asking for 320 pounds.
This is hilarious. This is awesome. Here's how I'll be spending your monies. 70-ish pounds spent on second-class large letter stamps at 76 pence. I think that's pounds, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Per stamp to send starter packs to new members. 26 pounds, 2,000 on stickers, 2,000 stickers to include in starter pack. Okay, 10 pounds plain paper, which I will decorate with Type 1 writer's stamp and frilly edges.
When people sign up to the service,
20 pounds square envelopes, 300 of them, to get people started on their writing. 1025 plain envelopes, 200 for starter packs, 50 pounds. Oh yeah, we got to get to 320. I'm like, this is a lot of. Okay. For postcards, for 1,000 postcards, 40 pounds on flyers. To distribute to GP surgeries, charities, schools, etc. to spread the word.
You don't need a lot of
$40 marketing budget.
But there are a few key essential.
I want to fund like the whole bloody thing,
right? So this is adorable.
This is awesome. 20 pounds on customized rubber stamp.
Make stickers and postcards cars.
Right,
that
so
kind of
this
thing.
is sort of what I was talking about, right? Where it's
Is she 12?
The second thing is
No,
that
she doesn't
I'll
look
need to
12.
promote the
I think you have to
service.
be at least 18 to actually try to
It's
fund
me, so
something,
need
but
a
I
bit
could
of
be
help.
wrong about that.
And with some of those
I don't
Instagram
actually know the
boosts
rules.
and Facebook
Please note this is a
boosts,
nonprofit project
and stuff like
that I hope will grow in the
And
future. I am not
finally,
paying myself, but I will,
I want
however,
the
charge
service
joining
going, so
members
it's kind of
£5
running
subscription
costing, so like things
to keep the
like
project
that.
afloat,
Stamps
and
are
any
really
money
expensive.
coming in will get
Buy
put
me some
back
stamps.
into the club to keep it going, buying stamps, stickers, etc.
Please help me reach my target.
Like this is what I was talking about, right? Like
Lots of fun goodies
neither of us have
for people.
diabetes. Neither of
If
us
they
want.
donate,
Well,
so
I shouldn't say
you can
want,
keep
but neither of us
it
need a
now.
diabetic
And
pen pal.
Let's get people
But
right.
this
Oh,
is-
I thought you were going to say neither of us want diabetes. I'm like, I like candy.
Yeah, no, believe me, I've been doing my best to catch it, but it hasn't stuck.
Speaking, okay, that is a Kickstarter project that we should do. We're gonna cure diabetes. $100,000. We're gonna spend the first 90,000 on candy to get diabetes.
This doesn't sound like a cure.
Well, at that point, we've got the proper motivation
Oh, okay.
and $10,000 research money to cure it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Shouldn't we get like a medical degree or something? Between the two of us? Just one?
WebMD, man.
Anyways, this is what I'm saying. So this is the kind of thing where it doesn't directly affect Jeremy or myself, but we can see that this has a lot of social value, and it's not like a crap ton of money. Like this is the kind of thing I can hopefully see getting funded.
Pam doesn't want it to be funded.
Why?
Well, I'm putting
What?
words into her mouth.
Why do you hate diabetics, Pam? Or pen pals?
Pen, typewriter. Who does this? Does this lady know email is free? Email is impersonal.
And cold.
Unpersonal.
Heartless.
Impersonal.
Impersonal. This
Yeah.
is Pam. Pam sends out Christmas letters every year.
Hey,
To be fair, she did email it last year, I think. Oh man,
because it's free. But email doesn't have frilly edges.
that's true. Although you could like put your message into an image that looks like a piece of paper with frilly edges. And
Here's
email
Kickstarter
that.
project, frilly edged emails.
Man, I don't even know how to go about doing that.
It's gonna be
Because the problem is the other
big-
person's client.
it's going to be a big research grant to help us develop frilly edged emails.
All right, so
Where am I going?
I don't know.
I want to
Let's-
see.
We'll look at. I'm just going to go through the stretch goals.
And I want to see her Instagram.
There you go.
It's basically her Kickstarter stuff.
Yes. So for £5, you join the squad. You get a virtual hug. The biggest virtual hug you would have ever received. She's a big virtual hugger. For £10, you get a thank you email and, of course, a virtual hug. She seems sort of touchy, but not really. £20, plenty with 20. Donate 20, receive a personalized handmade thank you card in the post. She'll mail you something. Because post is British
Mail.
for
British
mail.
for mail. And that's
Oh,
not gender, but the
post box.
delivery
Mailbox.
service.
The post office. I guess we call it post here too, but no one ever says that.
Well, mailbox is
Yes.
misogynistic.
It is absolutely not.
Am I getting that wrong?
£30. Dirty 30. Donate 30, and you'll receive a personal handmade thank you card in the post, and Type 1 writers stickers and postcards. Nifty at 50. Whoa, hey there, big spender. Donate 50, get all the above, plus branded envelopes, writing paper, handwritten letter, second-class stamps, invitation to be my pen
Second-class
pal.
stamps?
A couple of them. And a personal dedicated page on Type 1 Writers' website and all social media channels.
Is it like second-class citizens, but for stamps?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you the last time I mailed something. So I don't know really what that means.
This stuff only ships to the UK.
Only to the UK. Well, yeah, she's only asking for like barely anything.
See, another reason we have to go start something in Ireland. They're part of the UK.
I'm not going to, for now. How long do you think that's going to last, Jeremy?
What, them being part of the UK?
Yeah.
That's lasted this
Man,
long.
they want out as soon as they can get out. They're just looking for reasons. Once Scotland goes, the dominoes are going to fall.
Next thing, Manchester.
Cats living with dogs. 100 pounds. You get everything and a free lunch with Zoe, but you have to get to Folkestone or Central London.
But you must. I love that she's. But you have to get to.
Yeah, you have to come here. I'm not going to you. I'm not crazy.
Not for 100 pounds.
Yeah, good for. I'll do anything for 100 pounds, but take a bus.
Knowing that you are the most fabulous person alive.
So, I didn't do the math here, but I have a bad feeling that her goal, her 300 and whatever, her 320, is that exactly, does everything else add up to that, or did she take Kickstarter fees into account?
That sounds like more math than I want to do today.
That's fair. I'll do some quick, that's 100, that's 110, that's 50 more. So I'm at 270. I can't remember if I added that or not now. Shit. It's tight. She might be okay. I think she's okay. All right, I'm actually going to seriously consider backing this. So she's over halfway there.
Yeah.
She's over halfway there. I think she's going to get it.
I think she's going to get it because
I think Jeremy and I might just back it.
I think we're going to get...
Because I think between the two of us, we can get her.
Hang on, hold on. What's the exchange rate on pounds right now?
Well, so she's at 295 out of 539. It just, we can see. It shows us.
It does that for us.
Without hovering. Okay. You have to hover to get the other.
Oh, man. It's been a long week already.
It's only Wednesday.
Really?
Yes.
Because we're here now. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I think Dave and I are going to make sure that she gets her rubber stamps.
I think this is funny. This is great.
Except that we don't get any of the rewards, except a virtual hug.
We do get virtual hugs.
Or we could get a thank you email too. Well, based on how much we're going to have to back her right now, we're going to get...
we're going to have
to get a
lot. We're going to have to fly to London to get our free lunch.
Just a sec. A free... So she's going to take how much of that... So, yeah, $170. And she's going to take her cut of that and buy... It doesn't say where.
It doesn't. Central London sounds expensive, though.
There's a McDonald's in Central London.
There's McDonald's everywhere.
I know. That's... Ooh!
Maybe I'll back her for 10, because then I get an email and a virtual hug.
Well, you just choose that reward, and then you put in the amount, and then we can make sure that she actually gets it. Sorry, Pam. We're going on this one. Pam's not enthused that we like it.
Why not, Pam? What don't you like about it, Pam?
She has no heart.
Just diabetics?
She has... What do you got against diabetics, Pam?
I switched. I think I switched.
She's asking if we're sober this week.
We are.
We have not drinking as much this week as we did.
Okay, maybe don't listen
time.
to Jeremy talk, but we are. I promise.
So yeah, we're both gonna say yes. Do we get to count it if we back it?
No,
Why
I don't
not?
think so. It feels like cheating, but we'll both say yes.
You know, I think
I'll wait until the last day, and if she's not there, then we'll see if I'm gonna put her over.
my truth is that it's not cheating, and I'm gonna speak my truth.
Okay, that's fair. You do you.
I'll do me.
You be the best you can be.
Yes.
That's all we can ask.
Haha.
Okay, sorry, I'm just opening up some more.
We got so we got finished that. We're gonna take Type 1 writers. That's just an awesome. We gotta find more.
Well, we've only ever been looking in technology, to be fair. So we never would have seen something like that. We would have seen like AIDS Tinder. Like that's the kind of thing we would have seen.
I'm not backing AIDS Tinder. Sorry, I'm not backing AIDS Tinder. All right. So what's
Want to start with Everdell or the Solar Can?
Everdell.
Okay.
So moving on to Kickstarter winners. Got to come up with some clever titles for that.
Yeah, I'm just leaving it as Kickstarter time right now because we're just talking about Kickstarters. So,
yeah, but these are the winners.
So these are the ones. We picked 2 that got funded today. This is Everdell, a beautiful board game of cards and critters. They asked for 43,000 Canadian dollars. They got 116,000. They were funded in under 6 hours. In U.S., that is, they asked for 35 grand, and they have so far received 93,000. That's a whole bunch of money. Now, obviously, we aren't going to do the crystal ball on this because, yes, they get funded.
I think they're
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! They make it.
Hey, they've got 14 days. They may not.
They might not make it. So they had I guess we'll call it, I think, a reasonable ask. We have to sort of go through and see what they were trying to do with it.
Yeah, so looking for 35,000.
But 35 grand is not a ton of money. In the
not on internet world.
No. And they only had a 2-week funding. So it's only 14 days is all they were asking for. And they got it in spades.
How did they...
So looking at this, or I'm just sort of playing
They've
the
created...
video right
So
now.
these guys...
There's like a minute.
The Game Salute have created 83 Kickstarters. Is that what I'm reading right?
Yes. You should actually look at what their other Kickstarters are, because I didn't actually do that. So that's a good thing to look at.
Let's take a look at what else they've done.
I feel like this isn't their first run of this game, first of all. Though I'm not 100% sure. We haven't seen it yet. I'm going to scroll down in a minute here. But you're going to see they have a lot done on this already, it looks like. So I feel like what they have here is just a finished product, and this is our store page. And all of looking at their history, it looks like they've done
holy moly,
82 other board games. A lot of licensed stuff. Princess Bride,
yeah.
I saw Fast and the Furious go by, I think. Which is weird. Can't imagine that being a board game. These guys do board games, it looks like. Really well. They have really cool art. Really cool design. Like, this looks like very, very professional. These are not a couple of guys with an idea.
Okay, now, the first one I clicked here was canceled.
Walkstar. Maybe because it was a little racist.
Come on. Let's see here.
They got funded.
Yeah.
They only asked for $1,500 for that, for their first one.
That's not their first, but...
Oh, okay.
I'm just clicking on some random ones here and seeing sort of what happened on this stuff, and that got funded doubly. They asked for 20,000. They got 42.
Yep. Sorry, I'm on like a weird spot here. So they have a really good summary of the game. You can see they have a final box design. They have component design. They tell us exactly what we're getting. This looks to be Photoshopped, so I don't actually know if they have actual berry tokens. The game board does look like a photo of the game board. So that's done, and that looks nice.
So where's the game board?
Right there. Although I don't think I'm down that far. So they got custom meeples, wooden twigs. This might not be some plastic berries and some plastic pebbles. Yeah, so they got some really cool stuff here.
So they've put a little bit of money into this, so that they've built the prototype themselves already. But so what we're doing.
This was a 5-year design process. They worked on this game for 5 years before this. So this isn't, we had an idea for a board game. We're a couple of schlubs. with an idea for a board game.
Yeah, no, they've obviously got artists.
Yes, like this is a company. You can tell because Jeremy was smart enough to note that they had 83 Kickstarters, and all of them look very professionally done. I'll just actually go to that page, maybe.
Game Salute. Yeah, what? Starling Games was launched as an imprint of Game Salute in 2018. Okay, so who is Game Salute?
So yeah, they do have a lot of very clearly professionally designed and made games, just without even having to click in. You can tell sort of just by looking. So good design helps, that's for sure. A couple of these are canceled though. I wonder why.
Is it better to be canceled than not make your funding?
I don't know. No, well, they do have a funding unsuccessful also.
Okay.
People didn't like Ruse, a steampunk storytelling card game.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That does sound nice.
Maybe we should try it.
Didn't work for you guys, and we don't know what we're doing. Perfect.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to take failed Kickstarter ideas, relaunch them, and get them funded.
And then we're screwed if they get funded.
Why?
Because we don't... How do we make it?
What? I mean, have like some sort of a semblance of an idea on how we're actually going to...
I guess we could just buy it. I bet you they sell it on like a store or something like that. We just have to make sure that we're... That's actually... We could... So that was one of my ideas. Was to find something on Alibaba we could like slap a logo on.
Oh, yeah.
And do like the Sonic dishwasher thing from a couple weeks ago. I feel like that's a gimme.
Could be. So I think these guys are going to do it.
You think they're going to make it? I think the key here is that... Well, so we should be looking at what they're doing right now. I think the key for these guys is they've done it 82 other times. So and they are an actual company.
They've got it mostly figured
Maybe
out.
This might have been a bad pick for me, but because I don't know that we're going to learn much from this.
Well, we learned that having a we learned that doing it 82 times, the 83rd probably stands a pretty good chance of working.
Probably. They had problems on their 80th time, I think, but they were pretty good other times also.
You know, I continually feel like that good graphic design, whatever you're doing, good graphic design.
If something looks good,
yeah,
you can put lipstick on a pig,
and I like that pig.
Yeah, and you're going to be like, that is one good-looking pig.
I know I definitely fall susceptible.
Is there like pig tinder? Pig tinder. Put that on the list.
Pigs with AIDS.
Tinder. Pig AIDS is the worst. Can't get rid of that.
As opposed to which types of AIDS that you can get rid of.
I don't know. Temporary AIDS.
I know that. I know that I really fall susceptible to just things that look good.
Yes.
Like good branding, good design. If it looks good, it makes me feel good, and I'm done.
So we should budget for a graphic designer of some sort. Or at least try to convince one that they want to work for some Kickstart money.
Money. Kickstart. So, do you know how to do good graphic design? Do you want to work on a wildly successful Kickstarter?
Well, we're not the guys for you.
Work on ours instead.
I know some designers. I'll ask around.
I
can maybe get someone on board who's willing to get paid. Who's willing to maybe get paid.
Maybe get paid?
Yeah.
Hey, gambling's fun.
Take a risk.
Gambling's fun.
Walk on the wild side. Okay, so I think that's a lesson learned.
I feel like that's Pig Tinder tagline. Walk on the wild.
Yeah, right? Is it a pig? Do they have AIDS? Who knows?
Walk on the wild side. Oh, boy. All right.
We're going to heck. All right, so this is a neat one. The solar can.
I like it. What is it?
It is a can of sun.
I'll take one. No.
It's the world's first commercially available solargraphy camera.
No. Turn around.
And I mean, I can't believe it took this long for one to get made commercially.
That.
Finally, I can take the picture
Go on.
of a sun,
Do it then.
maybe. What's solargraphy?
Upright.
Solography?
Yes,
Let go of
solargraphy.
it.
Solargraphy.
Solargraphy?
Yeah.
I still don't understand what this thing is.
Like that's why I'm asking you. It's for solargraphy. Tell me what that is. So it used to just be a tube, like a poster tube that they cut down. Like we can look at it and see that that's what's happening. And now they're adding a sticker to the outside, basically.
I like stickers.
Well, it's not like a sticker you would stick on other stuff, but it just goes like on the tube.
We can't stick it on other things?
Well, it's already stuck to something, is my point.
Oh.
And then you get a book.
The graphic design on the front of that book has me at hello.
You really like that, huh?
Okay, so
So, this lets us take pictures. Like, they're cool looking pictures. I don't really know what I'm looking at, if I'm being honest, and I am. Pam, or anybody who's listening, have you ever done solargraphy? So here's what they currently have: is a solar can. Oh, it does
Wait
have a
a
sticker
minute.
on it.
oh, it's got
Well, it's got, it's just a manila tube with like literally a sticker on it. That's their current thing. And then they want to have. I really hope I would be more willing to fund this personally. Not that it got funded. It doesn't matter. But I would be more interested in this if it actually came with the retail packaging sticker that they're using as a placeholder here.
Okay.
Explain it to me.
Solography
Yes.
is a photographic method for recording the paths of the sun. Solography is the art of pinhole photography and a part of space art too.
Okay.
So
The paths of the sun.
yeah.
Doesn't the sun only take one path when you're, or do you have to like have this set up for multiple days?
Well, it's a long exposure.
Right. Well, I get that.
Pinhole solar graphs are pinhole photographs taken with a lensless pinhole camera
Yes.
with a long exposure. By doing so, the invisible movements of the sun can be made visible in landscapes.
Like, they do look neat. I'm not gonna lie. They look cool. But they also look like what did they? It reminds me of.
The cover of a Led Zeppelin album.
Oh no.
No, sorry, Grateful Dead album.
Maybe, but still no. I was gonna say like.
Doors?
No. Well, maybe, but still, that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of.
I'll keep you from thinking it.
Don't do that. That remember in science class, and he had the petri dish and like the jelly in it, and then you would like lick something.
Gel, not jelly.
No, what's the difference between gel and jelly?
One is
Nothing.
for eating, and one is for your hair. Frankly,
You put jelly in your hair.
no, the other one.
Anyway, so like you'd swab your mouth and you'd like wipe it on the
Yeah,
jelly, and then it would make it would look like that.
Oh, cultures.
Yeah. This just looks like pictures of cultures. Someone should tell them that.
Someone should tell them that.
Not me.
Huh. So
This is pretty niche.
I'm interested that these guys got funded as strongly as they did. They were looking for. Oh, they're in England.
Does that explain something? Is this like another Irish thing?
Well, not anymore.
It totally was. Oh, it totally was.
They got doubly funded. They were asking for 1,200 pounds. And it got just over double that.
So this is sort of a niche thing, but they actually weren't asking for a lot. I don't think.
Not in comparison with like the 9D theater.
And so this is like the next phase. So the solar can has apparently been funded successfully before.
Yeah.
And this is we want to add a fancy sticker to the outside of it. Basically.
This is all the same guys that, like, all the backers are going to be repeat backers.
Yes.
Which is fine.
Oh, they actually already did this and canceled it before. Oh. Wait, what? They canceled this 4 days ago.
Which one did they cancel?
The first one of Solar Can, the retail package, and then
But they said it got successfully.
Yeah, well, look, at what I'm showing is I've got... This is the one that we're currently looking at. This is the last one that they canceled.
Oh, sorry, they canceled the second phase.
It's the same one.
Yeah.
This.
Oh.
Is this. It's the same thing.
False start.
Yep. They did have a bagger.
False start.
They didn't mention, so the difference here is they were like part of the Make 100. So and I did see that a lot on the front page today, stuff with Make 100. Go back to that one. So it's part of Kickstarter's Make 100 initiative. So I don't know if they were part of something like that before. I guess I could look at the first solar can. Doesn't look like it. But Kickstarter has a Make 100 thing going on right now, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff on the front page that's all Make 100 branded. A lot of it's art books and like art cards. Like, I'll be honest with you, if anyone out there is likes to paint postcards, I feel like you could sell a lot of them on Kickstarter. Like if you like hand painted a postcard and then got like a bunch of prints of them, postcard sized.
I have some kids that could paint some
full
postcards.
size.
Full size postcard.
Yes.
Which is half size everything else. All right. So this one's I gotta be honest. This one's a bit of a strange one to me.
It is. So like if we look at the first one, holy crap. So their very first solar can project, they were asking for 2,500 pounds. They got 25,000 pounds.
They did very well.
Which I don't...
Well,
how many people want this? Like, I just don't get it, right? Like, this seems on its surface. Like, if I didn't know this had gotten funded, and we were looking at this, I don't know that I would have ever picked that this would get Kickstarted. Like, they weren't asking for much, and that would be the only thing that would make me go, maybe. But they got 10 times what they were asking for.
So...
And it's literally just a can with a hole in it.
Yeah. Where's their first one?
Like, how many people... they only have 3 things.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Click on one.
Okay.
But like, I'm just shocked that this is as popular as, like, I've never even heard of this.
Yeah, and that's...
So who found this? How many backers did it have? Does it tell me how many people backed it? 838 people backed this. Why? Why did 838 people back this? I'm not saying it's not deserving of it. I just don't understand why. Like, I like photography and art and the sun, but I've never thought to put them all together. I mean, that's not to say other people. I mean, obviously other people have. Are you trying to decide if you would have thought it would have get funded?
No, I'm trying to figure out...
Where the hole is? Whoops. I think it's under that tab. Maybe.
I'm trying to figure out how it works, and this is the
Oh,
like
you put photographic paper inside of it.
Yeah, but why does it have to be in a cylinder? I'm trying to wrap my head around the physics of it.
Right. So okay, I think I got this figured out. So they've got the photographic paper inside the can.
Yeah.
And then this little black tab here, I think they
Yeah.
pop that open, and then they just sit it out in a field for months.
And for a day.
No, for months.
What?
Once you've run out of patience, hopefully after several months,
Oh, really?
you simply remove the photographic paper from inside and scan or snap with a camera and invert to see your final image.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, once the black tab picture just peeled, I didn't even read that. Is revealing the pinhole lens light can pass through. Over time, this will gradually scorch the path the sun is taking through the sky.
Right.
Because the solar can is machine sealed, no liquid will pass through to damage the paper inside. So this is a single-use item. So I can get why people would buy more than one if they were into this.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, this is who's the intended market? If you're interested in creating art, science experiments, understanding photography more, or even space, then this is for you. I am flabbergasted by this. I never
See, because they don't explain that well, to me anyway, how it works, what it is, and all the rest, right? So this has to be like a huge hobby or...
This would be a hobby thing. You have to be able to look at the pictures, I guess, that they've posted and be like, yeah, this is the kind of thing that I want in my life. I want to be able to make a picture like that and hang it on my wall or something, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, you know, for one solar can, it was 12 pounds. So not a ton of money. So a low price, like low barrier to entry price-wise, that gets you a long way. They had 315 backers at that price.
Yeah.
And that was that was phase 1, and then they did it again for phase 2, and they got another 249 backers at the single can price. So this is the kind of thing where I would look at it and go, this falls into a niche market. I don't think enough people are going to want this because it's too specific. But maybe the low barrier to entry, and it's neat. It is neat.
That's the thing.
And a low barrier to entry. So Dichotomy didn't really have a low cost pledging option where you got something.
Yeah, where you got like a full product, right?
Right. Like it was expensive to get a full product.
Yeah.
Like you had to commit to that. This is whatever it is, like $20 Canadian or
$20 to get it, and you get to do
and
this
you get
yourself.
like a neat thing at the end of several months.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something we need to keep in mind. We have some professional graphic design and a low barrier of entry to actually getting a product.
The cool product that
Yeah. To at least try it out or something like that.
All right, things we learned today.
We should have a document full of this.
What we've learned.
What we learned. 'Cause I
Right.
learned nothing. That's not true. I learned lots of things. I'm just going to forget it all. Oh, man.
That's the point. Okay. Dun, dun.
Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. That's why. I think we're good. Good. We're good.
We're good. So, do we want to do Kickstarter roulette or?
Yeah, we got a few minutes. It's I don't know. Do you want to keep going?
We got
it's
about
almost 10.
7 minutes.
Want to try one? Okay, so we'll try Kickstarter roulette. Let me So this is, I just have a link to all the newest stuff on Kickstarter. Maybe. There we go. We'll switch to it. So this is just everything. This is the newest stuff on Kickstarter. Brand spanking new. And you're going to see a bunch of Make 100 stuff still, apparently. Because like the first one I see is that. There's some weird stuff here. So enamel pins, I've noticed, just from browsing around today, very popular. There's a huge number of pin makers or pin sellers. There's a guy, so we were talking briefly about that the board game guys that did Everdell. So they had like some licensed stuff. Now they probably, it looks like, I assume that they actually maybe paid for license for that. So there's a guy I saw who has an enamel pin, and it's like from Calvin and Hobbes, and it's like a quote. It's like the outline of Calvin's head, and then like a quote from the comic. And I was like, there's no way he got, because Bill Watterson would never be like, yeah, totally make a pin of this. That wouldn't happen. But he's kickstarting it, and I'm just like, I'm questioning the legality of it.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds, illegal, unethical, or, well, it sounds illegal, right? Like, he doesn't have rights to the IP, so, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Not that it's not like the kind of thing we need an answer for, I don't think, but...
Right.
But enamel pins, because there's Fire Emblem Girls enamel pins on my page right now. And they are, and some Inner Senshi mermaids.
What are we looking at?
I was looking at the ones on the right. Jeremy was drawn to the fish ladies in the middle.
The ones in the center?
Yeah, the ones right in the middle. And then there's pastel, going right down on the next row, another enamel pin of some weird Japanese thing.
Enamel pins, no kidding.
Right? So, yeah, like that was like one of the things that I learned today. Enamel pins everywhere. I almost feel like whatever we do, we should see what it costs to get an enamel pin run as one of the goals.
Yes.
One of the
absolutely.
things.
Sorry,
what are you looking at? Blitzwolf?
Blitzwolf.
Okay, this is what we're picking?
It's like going back to like what we know, but
sure. Okay, so more than just a speaker, it's an artwork. Ooh, I don't like that sentence.
They're in Japan.
Hong Kong.
Sorry, Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Nowhere near Japan. Right, closer to Japan than we are now.
It's relatively close to Japan.
Shut up, let's move on quickly.
Okay. It's closer to Japan than it is to Ireland.
Damn Irish.
Okay, so what is this? This is a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker.
It's some sort.
It's got aviation technology.
It's an artwork.
It is that. It is an artwork that happens to be mostly a Bluetooth speaker.
So what makes it different?
Probably nothing. That is a nice looking circuit board, though. Nice big TI op amp.
I feel like that's Photoshop.
It does look photoshopped.
Or it's certainly
that is
CG. That's not a photo.
That's some really good soldering, if that's real. It's not.
It's not real. Okay.
Stronger batteries for a longer playtime. 7 hours on a single charge. On a speaker. I have a Bluetooth speaker. I've never run it out of batteries in one charge, but I don't think I've ever tried playing music on it for 7 hours.
360-degree true surround sound.
This is
Feel the bass, high fidelity out.
This is just marketing nonsense, I think.
Aviation technology?
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, oh, Jeremy's going to buy this.
Crap! I got to buy it now.
It's made out of planes. You'd think they'd throw that somewhere in the marketing.
Are we going to end up ridiculing this?
It's aluminum, fog sense aluminum casing surface. Precisely positioned buttons. This is supposed to those ones that are positioned all willy-nilly on other Bluetooth speakers.
Neatly
arranged holes, as opposed to the ones that are all, again, willy-nilly. Glossy edges, that's fair. And a laser engraving logo. Actually, I think they mean laser engraved logo.
No. It's a logo that engraves things with a laser.
Well, then, this is a heck of a bargain.
I know, right?
That should be...
Oh, boy.
Talk about bearing the lead. Now, to be fair, some of this is just obviously an English problem.
Yes, I think so.
We won't hold that against
And formatting is both your E, R's, and I's will love.
The photographs look good.
That's true.
Like, these are good product photos. Like this one.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah.
Yeah, like that is a nice looking
Good photo with the IKEA lamp and.
Yeah. Well, they're really trying to make you think of Apple. Let's be evocative of Apple.
Bluetooth 4.2. We're past that.
I don't know what we're at on Bluetooth.
Well, my earbuds that are coming
yeah.
this year.
Not made out of airplanes?
They're not made out of airplanes, but they have Bluetooth 5.
Ah.
So.
Well, this is where they're saving money then. Part of it anyway.
But 12. Okay. Really? Oh, did I get suckered? I got suckered, didn't I?
By whom?
By the flashy ads made out of airplanes.
Oh, by these guys?
Yeah.
Did you accidentally back the project?
No. I mean, I got suckered into picking it here.
Okay, so they've had this idea. It's nice. They gave us the timeline. They came up with the idea in 2016, which is maybe why they're using old Bluetooth. They did some marketing rearch, some architectural design, hardware design. It's weird that... Okay, I understand what they mean by architecture. I take it back. I was going to say something super dumb. They were testing the hardware 5 months later. More testing. Oh, they did 2 versions of testing. They wrote this copy in December of 2017. I like that they put that in there. All right. Okay, so we took a really cursory look at this, or I'm taking a very cursory look at it. Jeremy is trying to figure out what aviation technology means.
I'm looking for the aviation technology. I have.
Did you just do a find in page?
No.
All right.
I'm looking at other things as well, but that's...
Okay, so these guys are asking for not a lot.
10 guys working on this, eh?
Just under 8,000 Canadian. 50,000 Hong Kong bucks. They are not even 10% of the way there. They have 8 backers, 29 days to go. So how much do you think a Bluetooth speaker with Bluetooth 4.2 costs on Amazon?
$30.
$30. Okay, so
I'm going to verify because it's going to be disgraceful, but...
Sure. So, for 10 Hong Kong dollars, which is 2 Canadian dollars, you get updates and your name on a website. For 64, so they're selling one of these for 64 Canadian dollars.
That's not...
That's with shipping.
It better be with shipping. That's not too outrageous. Amazon, you're looking anywhere between 30, 43, 35.
Yeah, but I mean, those aren't aluminum. And their buttons are just anywhere. All over the place.
24-hour playtime.
Well, that's a longer playtime.
Yes, 24 is bigger than 7.
It's like 3 and a bit times more. 66-foot Bluetooth range. Is that what Bluetooth 4.2 does? Wow. That's impressive, actually.
Oh, this is only 4.0.
Oh, okay.
So these guys are... The aircraft technology adds 0.2 Bluetooth.
I guess. Early bird. So, okay, so that 64 is actually their super early bird price. That's only... Oh, okay. Well, if they sell 8 more of them, then they're gone. And then the next, it goes up to $73. And then it goes up to $79. So these guys do it a different way, where they have limited numbers.
Found it.
You found it.
They manufacture the case by following a 10-step aviation oxidation process.
Plane rust? The sound's made up. My point. So I think what we should be looking at here is how they're doing their stretch goals. So, like I say, the first 20 that you buy, you're getting for $64, and then they reserve the next 200 at $73. And then after that, it's the Wild West, a free for all. Buy as many as you want at $79.
So $80.
Yeah,
That's our bucks.
yeah, that's our bucks.
Okay.
That is 499 Hong Kong dollars. At first, I thought this was absurd until I realized that it was Hong Kong dollars. I was like, that is one heck of an expensive.
You guys are looping Looney Tunes.
Yeah. And then you can buy two. They have like doubles. They have a super early bird for doubles, where you save $2 Canadian, 10 Hong Kong bucks or something. So maybe that's something to consider too. Is early birdness. Limit some of the stretches. Although, that being said, it doesn't seem to be helping these guys.
Well, if they just launched, and they've already got.
Oh, that's true. I guess they would have like just.
This is on the newest.
This is brand spanking new.
Yeah. So they're really.
This is their first one.
They're really trying to market this as a.
Hey, you like Apple stuff? And you like Bluetooth speakers?
Yeah, as a really fine crafted piece of technology.
Yeah. It does look good. Like, it's a nice design. The photos look really good. It sounds like the marketing speak is very nice. I like that they have pictures of the team. Not that I really know any of these people, but Frank, boss. Frank the boss. That's funny.
I'm going to criticize their logo.
You don't like their Blitzwolf logo?
It looks like Blitzwife.
Oh, yeah, it does. Except it's already an L earlier. Like, I get why they didn't switch it. Because the first L is lowercase.
Yeah, they should have stuck with the F should be lowercase then.
Yeah, it's not ideal. Maybe they're doing something about lithium. Does this involve lithium? Like, maybe that's why the L and the I are lowercase. But that's dumb. Like, that's if that's why they did it, that's a stupid reason. I'm just saying. But
Judgment has been passed.
It is. You're right, though. Like, I thought that too. It does look like Blitzwife. I agree.
Yeah.
Because everything around that second I is uppercase. But they needed to have that big giant O with a lightning bolt in it.
Yeah, because lightning bolt. Like, this is straight out of China marketing. They're using words that they like. I got it right this time.
No, you said China. It's a different country.
Now.
For a long time.
My point is the marketing is
I get what you're saying.
Out of that. Then why?
Because I'm pedantic. All the time.
All the time. Yeah. They're using buzzwords that.
Oh, sure.
You can tell that they think these are good buzzwords.
This isn't even like a Hong Kong thing. This is sort of neatly arranged, I guess.
Yeah, they're from Hong Kong.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this is the kind of thing I would see in like North American marketing also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like there's
just with better. They would have said laser engraved instead of laser engraving. But maybe people wouldn't have been like, ooh, precisely positioned buttons. Like, maybe you didn't have to put that there, guys. We trust that your buttons
we trust that you know where to put the buttons.
Like, and precise in what sense? Right? Like, what does that even mean? This is like I'm in marketing, and it's so frustrating sometimes. Like,
they're precisely positioned. They're positioned exactly where they are.
Neatly arranged. Like, okay, I get it. This was done with a machine.
Yeah. Well, and then they've got like the curve around the outside, and all of the holes are very precise. Like they should have said precisely arranged.
I want to read the book they have in this at the top here, where it says cereal. I want to know what's in the cereal book. Oh, you played it already, but it's the
Oh, that one.
yeah. All right, we'll let that play out. So I think that's the end of the episode. Actually, let's do a quick. We might as well do a crystal ball on this one. Do you think it's going to get funded? It has 29 days to go. It is maybe 8% of the way there, but it is brand new.
I'm gonna say
I believe it started at 7:30.
I'm gonna say no. It really did it got something out of the gate here.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should be funded.
You don't think it should be funded, or you don't think it will be funded?
I'm gonna conflate the two.
Okay. No, I was just asking
Yeah.
for.
I understand that there's an important distinction between those two, but today I'm going to marry them and say it should not, and I have faith in it will
Because
not.
usually I'm like, I think this should be funded, but I don't think it will be funded.
Right.
That's why I was
Those are the tragic cases.
Right.
We should come up with a matrix of should and will, should won't, shouldn't will, shouldn't
This is
won't.
already we can. Sorry, I'm dying watching people laughing or dancing here.
Right? Telling you.
It's a delicate, modern, stylish, minimal,
Those are the words I'm talking about.
concise, trendy, rhythmic, dynamic, young, excellent. Oh, it's so fast. Oh, the laser's engraving it in front of me. All right, so
So-
graphic design. Maybe we need a video.
Oh, we definitely need a video with people dancing.
Yes. We should just steal this video, whatever we do.
Just use this video for our, and then just have a disclaimer at
We'll
the back.
we'll just splice ourselves at the front of it, just talking real quick about what the project is, and be like, we like this video from a different Kickstarter, and then just play it.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it shouldn't and it won't.
Okay.
You're gonna say
Fair. I'm gonna say it shouldn't. Oh, I don't know. It's too new. It's too new for me to tell.
and the early backers make it.
Right, but it looks like that this has actually only been around since this got launched at 7:30. It's
Yeah.
half an hour before we started doing our little dinky little show.
Our
here.
little show.
Usually the ones that I grab have been up for 8 hours at least, because I usually grab them in the morning, right?
So this one already has 9 backers.
I'm
Immediately.
gonna say
Mind you-
yes. I think this will go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those 9 backers might be 9 of the 10 staff
could be.
and their mothers.
It could be, but I feel like this is gonna go because it does look good. It's a nice, it's a well designed product. Oh, it looks well designed. You know what I mean?
It does.
It has a nice,
and
it has a nice visual.
the
design.
break apart does actually look
Yeah.
like they've put some good thought into some design on it. So okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, I have a good feeling. I have good feelings about this.
Mark it down.
All right, I'll throw it in the
Mark it
in
down.
the list.
All right.
Thanks for joining us for episode number 12, everybody. At some point, we will start discussing what we're thinking about doing for a Kickstarter this year. If you have any ideas that are better than AIDS Tinder and Pig Tinder and Pig AIDS Tinder, feel free just to drop them in the comments below or just post on the page. You know how to get a hold of us. You can do that on the Facebook page. If you're watching this on YouTube,
Please subscribe.
yeah, first of all, please subscribe. Like this video and comment on the videos. Subscribe to the channel. But yeah, just comment down below what you think maybe we should kickstart. Understand we're both tech guys. We're probably looking at some software here, to be very honest with you.
That's what we'll be doing.
It's almost 100% guaranteed that anything we do will be software related. And if you want to watch us live, because I'm still talking to YouTube watcher, check us out every Wednesday on Facebook.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins.
8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
8 p.m. Mountain Time. Whatever that time is, wherever you happen to live.
Do the math.
Do the math. We ain't going to do it for you. If you want to follow us on...
That's a good Kickstarter.
Do the math. We ain't going to do it for you?
No.
It's just a Kickstarter, or it's just a calculator that tells you to go do the math yourself?
No, no, that would be called my wife. Time zone converter.
Right, because those don't exist.
We'll do a better one.
A better one.
We'll put pigs on it. No, lipstick on it.
Oh, God. Okay, don't suggest a time zone converter. That's a hard pass.
We're up to 13 subscribed on... Pam said she got us another 2.
Yeah.
So right now,
I was there when it happened.
Oh,
I think
Pam's got us another 2. She's doing all the heavy lifting on our subscriptions.
It's like Pam and her kids.
And whoever's phone is left around her.
Exactly. We were at a party, and I know she grabbed a couple more phones. And I don't know who they are. Just like some other people's kids, I think.
Love it.
And then 3 of my YouTube accounts. Maybe only 2. I don't even know. Something like that. And I think Jeremy subscribed. Yep. So there you go. We got it's basically between 3 people. We've got up to 13. We're trying to get 200.
87 to go.
87 to go. Also, if you want to follow us on Twitter, and it's kind of a waste of time to be honest with you, but twitter.com/BNZ show. It's at the bottom of the screen that I'm not looking at right now. BNZ show. Or you can follow us on Instagram.com/Bourbon and Zeppelins, where occasionally I remember to put pictures of things that I drink. Although the last thing that I drank, which was homemade gin, I did not post on that. I posted on my own personal Instagram. Yeah, I was just too lazy to put it on both, so I only did it on my own. That's life. Anyways, we'll see you next Wednesday. Put some more thought into Kickstarters.
Yeah, we can't be the only ones thinking here.
We're relying on you to help us out. We rely on you every week just to watch. And remember, homework for next week. Read about universal basic income.
Universal basic income.
That's what we're going to talk about for a
Thanks,
couple
Pam.
minutes. Good job, Pam. Anyways, later. Bye. Have a good night. Sayonara. Oh, man. All right. Bye.